You never know what's around the corner. You never know what's in the pub you're going to walk into. You never know who's going to be there. And it's that excitement, it's that not knowing. That's where the adrenaline rush comes from. Hooliganism is, by definition, an extreme sort of football supporting, because you're prepared to fight for the reputation, honour and name of your football club. The violence is a part of it, and it's almost a schizophrenic gang culture, like it's a part-time gang culture, where you can do all these things and behave quite badly. Hooliganism is a beast, if you like, and it evolves, it's constantly evolving.
Mycket bra, mycket bra. Själv då? Ja, mycket bra reklam här. Ja.
Despite owning 3 restaurants, he still prefers to tenderize and grill the meat himself. It isn't just his staff and clients who call him the chef. Chef is the nickname of the founder of the Wise Men from Gothenburg, one of the most violent gangs of football hooligans in Europe.
Gothenburg was back then like a friendly team. We didn't have any enemies. It was a fun thing to go to football. We went with the family and everything. In Stockholm, on the other hand, they had some more violent supporters. And for them, Gothenburg was kind of easy target. So they started doing trips over there, wrecking pubs, you know, just harass people. And a few of us finally had enough and like, okay, it, we'll fight back. From the beginning, it was more like self-defense. After a while, we understood we're kind of good at this, so we started to do more offense. Started going to trips abroad, go up to Stockholm. I've been stabbed, I got my ribs stomped, arm wrecked. Stabbing, I would say. I got stabbed in the face. Before it was more like old school fighting, storming pubs, glassing each other with no rules. You know, people were using sticks and knives and bottles and everything were ever going to get your hands on, chairs. Now it's more violent, but the violence was worse back then. We didn't have any rules and they actually wanted to kill each other. And in the end, a guy, one of our guys, actually died. Now it's more sportsmanship. Well, forest fights. We can get together around 100 persons, but I say the tight firm is around 60 persons. When you're young, you really have to show yourself, you have to participate in all the fights, and you have to go to the games. The fighting is really important. If you want to be along, you can't like blame, oh, my girlfriend don't want me to go, you have to go. For the young firms, they fight maybe 6 times a year. I mean, it shouldn't be too hard to get away 6 times a year. To hang up these days, you really have to train at least 3 times a week. You won't hang up otherwise. I mean, if you're going to take out our 25 strongest fighters and meet 25 strongest fighters from other teams, you don't want to have someone who's just hang over.
Almost everyone is doing matches and train in different styles. Ordinary days it's Thai boxing, boxing, MMA, And one time at the week we try to train together here. We have contact with Hooligans, and we will see on Monday if when they come, where they will go, and we will have contact, and we try to get low numbers so we can come without the police and stuff like that. So it's different every game. Sometimes we got our secret gathering, and sometimes we meet at the pub in the central town. If they want to fight maybe outside town, we agree to that. If they want to fight in town, we must agree to that also. The best way to find them is, of course, to have contact with them, or maybe a starter, or just follow them to a pub or something like that. We will hit them maybe before the game, after the game, it depends. The best way, we think, is to get them outside the pub, so we can have a clean, fair fight without glasses, without third person. Usually it's about 1 to 3 minutes.
What should you do to win?
Get them on the ground, or they run away, but be aggressive and be smart also. Tactical, it's more and more about tactical and skills and one-on-one games and yeah, ground and pound and everything. So if we stand up, we win.
Sweden's always been interesting to me because it's, of all the clubs that I've seen from Scandinavia, they're probably the most crazy. I think they're certainly one of the most right-wing firms. That's quite scary. Some of the extreme firms, you know, the Wise Men, the Bad Blue Boys, etc., all of those guys, it is all about the fight. You know, it becomes about the confrontation at certain clubs, not at every game. But when you've got a local rivalry, it will be, if there is any violence, it will be about who comes out on top.
Hooligan. Ανήκω στη θύρα 7, τα τελευταία 15 χρόνια και είμαι 30 χρονών.
The Greek capital is divided into zones of influence between the Greens and the Reds, Panathinaikos and Olympiakos supporting Hooligans.
Πηγαίνουμε σε μια περιοχή που είναι αυτή. Πριν από κάθε παιχνίδι, οι δικοί μας προσπαθούν να τους εντοπίσουν και πάντα ψάχνουμε την ευκαιρία να τους επιτεθούμε. Αρχές Δεκέμβρη ήρθαμε να επιτεθούμε στους Hooligans του Παναθηναϊκού. Είχαν ένα παιχνίδι βόλεϊ γύρω στα 150 άτομα αυτοί. Με το που τελείωσε το μάτς, βγήκαμε εδώ πέρα, τους επιτεθήκαμε. Οι μισοί από εμάς κάτσαν στην πόρτα και τους βαράγαμε. Αυτά εδώ πέρα είναι τα σημάδια, βλέπετε, είχαμε κάψει τις μηχανές τους. Είχαν τις μηχανές τους έξω, τις κάψαμε. Οι μισοί από εμάς καθίσαν στην πόρτα εκεί πέρα και δεν τους αφήναμε να βγούνε με ξύλα και τους βαράγαμε. Και οι υπόλοιποι είχαν προχωρήσει κάτω στον δρόμο, που είχε βγει ο υπόλοιπος κόσμος έξω και τσακωνόμασταν. Αυτοί ήταν 150 άτομα και εμείς ήμασταν γύρω στα 70. Δεν κοιτάμε το τι άθλημα είναι, κοιτάμε ποια είναι η ευκαιρία μας για να τσακωθούμε με τους αντιπάλους μας. Τον Οκτώβρη του 2016 τσακωθήκαμε με τους Hooligans της ΑΕΚ 70 με 70. Η Molotov κοκτέιλ, πνογόνα, επίσης ξύλα, Greek style. Και στο τέλος, αυτοί φύγανε, τρέξανε. Πιάσαμε 2 δικούς τους. Νικήσαμε ξεκάθαρα, ήταν μεγάλη νίκη. Σε κάθε σύγκρουση και από τις δύο πλευρές υπάρχουν πάντα τραυματισμένοι. Ωστόσο, Σεβόμαστε τους νεκρούς και δεν θέλουμε να αναφέρουμε κάτι παραπάνω σε αυτό.
Rivalry between the fans of two Athens-based clubs, Olympiakos and Panathinaikos, has become a war of attrition that has raged for decades. The conflict has seen dozens of young Greeks mutilated and even killed. Every Athens derby provokes street fights. In southern Europe, the fair play rules between hooligans are rarely observed. They wear motorcycle helmets, fight with sticks, steel rods, and often knives too.
Γενικότερα, εμείς τους ψάχνουμε στον δρόμο, όπως και αυτοί μας ψάχνουν στον δρόμο. Δεν είναι στο DNA μας στην Ελλάδα να δίνουμε ραντεβού σε δάσος. Τα τελευταία 30 χρόνια, ο Ολυμπιακός και ο Παναθηναϊκός κάθε χρόνο, οι Ολυμπιακοί και οι Παναθηναϊκοί μάλλον, τσακώνονται. Πιστεύω ότι δεν θα σταματήσει ποτέ αυτό το μίσος και όχι μόνο δεν θα σταματήσει, αλλά δεν θα το επιτρέψουμε ποτέ να σταματήσει και θα μεγαλώνει κάθε χρόνο και περισσότερο. Στο τελευταίο εντός ντέρμπι με την Nike, επειδή χάσαμε, μας προκαλέσανε η αστυνομία και κάναμε επεισόδια μισή ώρα με τους αστυνομικούς. Διαλύσαμε κάθε μονάδα των ΜΑΤ που βρισκόταν μέσα στο γήπεδο και γι' αυτό λόγο τιμωρηθήκαμε.
Olympiakos fans have been banned from the team's next 2 games. But even though no spectators will be able to attend the next match, that doesn't mean there will be no fighting. The Olympiakos hooligans are scouring the city in search of rival groups. 2 hours before kickoff, scouts report finding 20-odd Panathinaikos hools. A group of Reds immediately sets off for the location, finding anything they could use as a weapon close to hand.
It's the threat of violence and the potential for violence that is where the adrenaline comes. One of the attractions of the hooligan culture for many is the fact that it's a match day thing. It doesn't impact on the rest of the week. So, and in many cases, you won't even see the guys you see at football during the working week because you come from all different places, do all different things. Football in extreme politics have always been linked because football provides a very good recruiting ground for these people. Because you've got groups of working class lads together. So it's easy to spread that message, easy to find, you know, like-minded individuals. My view, my personal view, is that the country everyone needs to be keeping an eye on in terms of hooliganism and racism is Germany. Because of the immigration situation, I think there is a huge amount of anger in Germany and it's festering because they have history. Let's face it.
A few hours before the game, the Stuttgart hooligans and ultras gather in an informal club that only group members can enter. Not even the police can get in without a warrant.
Also hier sind wir bei der Südbande im Club. Wir treffen uns gern vorm Spiel. Wir sind immer rund 150, 200 Leute, chillen ein bisschen, trinken was und dann gehen wir alle zusammen ins Stadion.
Andres is a veteran hooligan in Stuttgart. A distinguished member of the group, he started fighting back in the 80s. He's one of the few who aren't afraid to show their faces.
Der Begriff Hooligans gab es ja früher gar nicht, wo ich klein war. Der Begriff kam ja dann irgendwann später aus England rüber. Ich denke, früher gab es eigentlich weniger Regeln. Nähere Neuzeit oder so sind irgendwie Regeln dazugekommen, wenn einer auf dem Boden liegt, dass man dann nicht noch reintappt oder so. Aber ganz früher, dieses Wort Hooligan gab es ja nicht. Früher ist man ins Stadion gegangen und dann, wenn eine Feindesmannschaft da war, dann hat es halt geknallt. Ja, wir waren noch relativ jung, 14 oder 15, sind wir nach Karlsruhe gefahren. Dann sind wir aus dem Zug raus mit Steine damals in der Tasche, haben erstmal Steine geschmissen und dann ging es am Bahnhof dann schon rund. Also das war so die erste größere Fußballschlägerei, wo ich mitgemacht habe. Das fühlt man schon, das ist schon diese Gemeinschaft, wenn man drauf geht und ich weiß, mein rechter oder mein linker Mann oder so haut genauso rein, wir geben alles. Das ist schon so ein Gemeinschaftsgefühl. Das ist schon irgendwie was Tolles, wenn man Seite an Seite praktisch mit seinen Freunden oder Brüdern kämpft.
Als es das erste Mal zu so einer Situation kam, ich hatte nicht wirklich Angst und habe dann das Kribbeln gespürt. Und ja, dann habe ich es einfach über mich, wie soll ich das sagen, über mich ergehen lassen. Das nimmt dann seinen Lauf einfach. Dann ist man in dem Film drin und man macht einfach nur und gibt einfach alles für die Stadt. Haben wir mal die Desperados-Fahne entwendet und die Retourkutsche dafür vor vielen Jahren gefotzten Aktion. Die Hurensöhne aus Dortmund sind in der Nacht- und Nebelaktion bei uns eingebrochen und haben alle Fahnen ehrenlos entwendet. Das war der Zeitpunkt, wo die Rivalität richtig entstanden ist eigentlich. Also ich bin reingelaufen und sofort ging der Blick zu den Ultras, zu den bengalischen Feuern, zu den Choreografien. Und es war der Moment, wo es mich einfach gepackt hat und ich es einfach wissen wollte und mehr wollte. So ist man dann halt in die Szene reingerutscht, man lernt Leute kennen, irgendwann befreundet man sich an mit vielen Leuten, man rutscht immer tiefer rein, die Freunde, die werden zu Brüdern, die Leute werden zur Familie einfach und das ist einfach eine Sache, für die wir gemeinsam einstehen, das ist unser komplettes Leben. Die meisten Leute fangen bei den Ultras an, meistens ist den Leuten zu wenig Action, dann kommen sie zu den Hooligans. Viele Probleme mit Polizei. Wir schlagen keine Unschuldigen. In der Gesellschaft hat es schon immer Gewalt gegeben. In jedem Jahrhundert gab es Gruppierungen, die Gewalt ausgeübt haben. Das gehört zum Leben dazu.
A month before the Stuttgart game, German police visited the headquarters of one hooligan gang to interrogate its leaders. They learned that a large fight was being planned. Ever since then, all over the country, police have watched fans and hooligans closely on match days.
Before it was the cell phone. Now they're using the internet to make contact, and they're doing it in a way which is as anonymous as they can be and as secret as they can make it. But again, that adds to the attraction. It is that excitement of planning stuff. It's about bullying. It's about coming out on top. It's about who is the bravest, the maddest, the most organised, the most violent, the most well-trained, really. And it becomes like almost a warfare.
It's a common place to paint graffiti in Gothenburg. You have the main bridge in Gothenburg right here, and it's well located because you can see it. Whenever you travel the main bridge, you'll see the painting, you know.
For example, what will happen if the hools from another city will come and try to
paint over it? Of course, that's not good. They will have a reaction. I live hooligan life 24/7, no doubt. But of course, extra at matches. If we have a chance to get a fight, maybe you'll put that a bit higher up than the match itself. But it all depends on the match also and the type of fight that you can get into. hopefully we'll get a fight. Djurgården are very big rivals to us, and we always want to get a chance to put them into place. We don't have a good relationship with the cops, of course. They try to lock us up, they try to stop our fights. All cops are When you're in the fight, when you're in that zone, it's hard to explain how you feel about it, but it's an incredible rush. Adrenaline, euphoria, rage, everything, all the emotions mixed up in one, no doubt.
Police f*** it up really much. We have loads of problems in Sweden. They don't deal with that. Hooligans is the #1 target. I really can't understand it. Because they know we have our rules, you know. Sweden's scene is it's good, you know. Of course, we kick the shit out of each other in the fields, but still we don't overdo it. When you knock down, you knock down. Don't stand stomping and jumping on people. And they know that as well, so I really don't get it. If we would have killed one of them, the whole thing would have escalated. It would have been like due to the Krakow derbies in Poland or something. I mean, they're killing each other over there. We didn't want that.
Have you ever been on the edge about to harm or kill someone?
Yeah. Yes.
How it happened?
No, it's a fight. You know, when you get punches, you get kicks, and in the end, you win the fight. And I mean, sometimes it's kind of hard to stop yourself. Like, this guy just broke my nose and punched my tooth out. Of course, I'm gonna stomp him in the face a few extra times.
Bei mir heute noch so, ich bin jetzt 51 Jahre, ist bei mir heute noch so, wenn ich zum VfB auswärts fahre, ist es für mich was ganz Tolles, praktisch in einem Sonderzug oder so zu sitzen und dann mit 500, 600 Leuten irgendwo hinzufahren, in eine Stadt zu kommen, da präsentiert man natürlich seine Stadt. Und da zählt auch, glaube ich, gar nicht drum, ob man gewinnt oder verliert, sondern ob man einfach sein Bestes gegeben hat.
Σήμερα είχαμε τους ανθρώπους μας να κοιτάνε και δεν τους βρήκαμε πουθενά. Δεν είναι άξιο αναφοράς, δεν έγινε κάτι την επόμενη φορά. Ιδανικά πρέπει να είναι κάνε και οι δύο. Και η ομάδα μέσα στο γήπεδο και εμείς στον δρόμο. Ο καθένας έχει τη θέση του. Αν πρέπει να διαλέξω, θα πω ότι η ομάδα στο γήπεδο πρέπει να φέρει την ισοπαλία και εμείς να νικήσουμε στον δρόμο.
I would rather win a fight against a really good opponent than win a football game. And of course I want the team to win and I want the firm to win, but family, firm, job, team for me. And my kids don't know anything about it. If it's between being a predator or prey, of course I want them to be predators and not prey.
Hooliganism is a beast, if you like, and it evolves, it's constantly evolving, but quite what will happen in the future, I really don't know. The fact that it's still news proves that they haven't solved it. They'll never solve it. They know they'll never solve it.